like you lost another one.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Season 2, Episode 2 of the Wrestling Revival Podcast. I am your host, Cyb3rYeti, and over here to the other side of me, you see Mr. DJ Notorious. How's it going? All right. So, I got to say this. The WWE has been keeping us kind of busy the last 24, 48 hours. We're going to get into that here in just a second, but right now, really quick, we just want to go ahead and pay some bills. First off, we would like to give a huge thank you to our sponsor, Ulti Energy. Use discount code Revival Army for 10% off your order over at ultisubs.com. Every time you use that code, it helps us out a little bit. You get to get some cool shit. Not only that, the metal shakers, you get the regular ones, but also they got the big boy sizes. They got the big, like 62 ounces. I am eventually going to get myself one because I am a big boy. I drink a lot of water. So I gotta have a big shaker also. So thank you, Ulti Subs, for continuing your sponsorship with us into Season 2. We do appreciate it. And that's pretty much all the bills for right now. So let's go ahead and kind of jump into it. As you know, the WWE has kept us busy the last couple days, especially within the last 24 hours. Now, what I'm referring to is, first things first, we got to talk WWE 2K24, guys. Oh. Multiple versions. The base version, of course, featuring Cody Rhodes. The middle of the road version, we're looking at Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, and then we have the 40 years of WrestleMania. Now, here you can see a couple of clips of some of the screenshots from the from 2K24, seeing a couple of the new couple of the big names in regards to wrestling in there. It actually looks pretty good. The only two I kind of have a comment about is one, Rhea Ripley. I think they kind of did her a little dirty. She doesn't look quite right, but also too, Rey Mysterio kind of looks the same way that he looked last year. So that's kind of my thing right now in regards to WWE. I also saw that funny thing in the commercials about how Stone Cold Steve Austin was kind of done dirty in that as well. So let's just hope between now and when it releases, it gets a little bit better. They do a couple more tweaks. You know, we see Stone Cold Steve Austin not look like the Stone Cold Steve Austin from what was it? Warzone video game. Hopefully they fix his head. It doesn't look so conehead-ish, like rounded conehead, you know. But hopefully they fix that. So, DJ, what do you have to say so far about what we've seen with WWE 2K24?
Well, with WWE 2K24, I always think about 2K has always been their graphics. It really looks like you're watching Monday Night Raw. We'll talk about that later too. And SmackDown, and along with NXT. So they always get the realism of every single aspect of the WWE. Some Rey Mysterio looks like last year's version. I don't know if they did anything with that, but Rhea Ripley, I could definitely see where people are mad. But hey, look, 40 years of WrestleMania. Let's get that right there. Three different versions, so you got 3 different covers. Shout out to Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare. He will be the actual standard edition of it, so you kind of saw that coming. You kind of did. You knew that was going to come. You then also have Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley gracing the deluxe edition. That's really good for them as well. First time you have 2 women on the cover of the game.
Yes.
So kudos to both of them. It's funny that both of them are on there, and I think their paths are going to cross very soon. Hint, hint.
Mm-hmm.
But 40 years of WrestleMania, I mean, it sells itself. Can Cody finish the story? No. No. I think honestly,
we'll get into that later.
Yeah, that was funny how they use that in the commercial. You could finish your story. But the game looks great from what we can see. A lot of new match types. Shout out to the WWE for doing this. And I know some people have said over the past few months into our little vacation, DJ, you don't give that much credit to the WWE. Well, here you go. I'm going to give them credit right here. Shout outs to them. Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little.
But shout outs to them actually putting in not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, but 7 of their actual WWE referees in this year's game. Shout outs to Daphne. She went absolutely berserk on X. Just so happy that she is in the video game. And that was a good move by them. So more realistic as it is, because they got special guest referee returning this year in the game. And you can create your own referee. Who would have thought that? I didn't think that. I thought it was going to be a regular way to do your referee, but you can create your own. And then, y'all, they brought back the casket match, which leads me to believe if the casket match is in there, could we possibly see the infamous casket match with Yokozuna and The Undertaker?
I think so. In the 40 years of WrestleMania, I really do think that that's going to be one of them.
Because that will be something good that we could see. I think we're already going to get Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, and I think that was WrestleMania 12, if I'm not mistaken. So
I really wish they would have let some pictures out of that, especially Shawn Michaels with his entrance that he did with the crane.
Yes. Yeah. Well, they're going to be doing some more commercials as it gets closer and closer. But then we got to talk about the downloadable content. This is 1 year. Well, I'm telling people right now, get the 40-year of WrestleMania version. You are getting so much for the price of $120. Yes, that is the price of the 40-year WrestleMania version, because you're literally getting probably a good 12 to 15 wrestlers combined with all the different packs, and then still have the season pass of downloadable content.
Mm-hmm.
Macho Man WrestleMania 6, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair,
and
Cody Rhodes.
There's one WrestleMania match we know is going to be in there for sure, because this was one of the first big women's matches of this current generation. Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch, and I think it was Bayley. No.
I think you're talking about. I hope Ronda Rousey's not in this one, but it's probably going to be Charlotte,
Becky,
Ronda Rousey, and Becky Lynch.
No, it was it was a triple threat match that they had at WrestleMania for the new women's championship when they did away with the Divas title. Who was in that triple threat? It was Becky, it was Charlotte, and then who was the third one? I think it was it Bayley?
I think it was Bayley. I'm not too sure.
It was those three. Hey, what's going on, Bobby? Thank you so much for tuning in as always, man. We appreciate it. I think that's definitely going to be one of the matches, because that was a huge turning point. I mean, they debuted the new women's championship, not the Divas title anymore. So, I mean, obviously that one will probably be. Oh, it was Sasha Banks. Bobby remembered.
Yes,
it was Sasha Banks. Okay, so it was those three. Bayley was still in NXT, I think, at the time.
Right.
Okay, so that was that match. That's well, actually, it might not if Sasha isn't in WWE.
We might be hinting towards something later on in the show, because we got a lot of things to talk about, but
a lot
of things here. But WWE, great job with WWE 2K24. If you guys don't know about the 2K franchise, it's heavily known for its NBA 2K franchise. Is one of the best-selling sports games every single year for the past 20 plus years. And they've taken over the WWE part of it for, it feels like a decade, just about.
Yeah, pretty close.
Feels like a decade. It used to be with THQ back in the day, but THQ is now down with AEW. So yeah, definitely get this. It's going to be good.
I hope it is, but I could tell you this: the biggest black eye that WWE has in the 2K franchise is 2K20. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that.
We're going to talk about the good things now. They learned their lesson. Good things. They learned their lesson. Okay,
I hope they did. I really hope that they learned their lesson, because if they didn't,
they have. I will say last year's version was good too.
Yes, it was.
It was. So I think they're doing more of the same here, and they're giving people more of what they want. So, with this, you got to know that by getting the 40 years of WrestleMania, you actually get the game early. And also, if you get the deluxe edition with Bianca and Rhea Ripley, you get the game 3 days early. So, March 5th is when you'll want to get your hands on that if you reserve those 2 copies. And hey, if you just want the American Nightmare just to go, oh, and all that, you have to wait until that Friday, which is the 8th. So it's right around the corner. Definitely get your game. You can actually reserve it right now on any of your consoles, the PlayStation or Microsoft Xbox ecosystems, old versions or the new ones. You can definitely cop it right now.
Oh, yeah. So, like we mentioned, the WWE has been kind of busy the last couple of days, starting off with the debut of WWE 2K24. And also, they dropped another bomb on us in regards to where Monday Night Raw is going to be starting in January of 2025. That is correct. You are reading that right. Raw is officially moving to Netflix coming January 2025. Now, this is a huge deal. Pretty much, it's an extremely huge deal. How much are they looking at?
$5 billion.
Not million. You heard it right. Billion. $5 billion. Now, if you've been a member of Netflix for years, you remember when it started out fairly cheap. It was like what, $7, $8.99.
Yes.
Well, now the lower tier around that time is also going to be going away, which is, I think, what, $11?
I think between $7.99 and $11.99, somewhere in between there.
From now on, this new standard for Netflix is now going to be $15.99 for their basic membership now. Now, mind you, they kind of experimented with doing live events already in regards to trying it on their platform. And of course, both DJ Notorious and myself know exactly what event we're referring to. It was Chris Rock's stand-up show that happened right after the incident with Will Smith happened.
Yes.
So that was their trial run. So I'm guessing it went very well because they threw their hats into the ring for Raw, and they won.
They legit
$5 billion. Process that. $5 billion.
Still in shock.
So the way that it's looking right now, Raw starting in January is going to be on Netflix. SmackDown and NXT are going to be on the CW.
SmackDown is going to be on the USA Network starting October 1st. Right. Yes.
Yes. So the USA Network and then CW is taking over NXT that same year also.
Yes.
It's all about the money, dude. I can hear Shane McMahon's theme music playing in my head right now. Here comes the money. Dude, it was all money. It was money moves. And you know what? This has TKO written over it. And you know what? I will admit, I'm here for that. They're getting their bag. A very big bag.
It's a huge bag. Definitely huge. But actually, we have some exclusive footage of Mr. Nick Khan discussing what the big deal for WWE and Netflix is.
We think we're in business with 2 great partners. What we did once the SmackDown deal closed, which will shift SmackDown over from Fox to USA starting this October 1, we focused or hyper-focused on Raw.
Now, this seems to have been a plan all along, and
Mhm.
finally, it's starting to show itself. Personally, I thought WWE and Raw was going to be going to Amazon. I thought Amazon had the biggest move for it. They already have the NFL Thursday night games, so
Mhm.
they already had the experience, and it was dealing with sports. This is the first big fray now for Netflix going into something of a weekly episodic sports show, which is Monday Night Raw.
Yes.
Now, good move for them, great. However, we would not be who we are here on this show, that Yankee and Astro, if we did not see some holes that could potentially harm this, especially in the beginning of the deal, meaning January 2025. There's not going to be everybody that's going to jump ship and get Netflix.
Nope.
It's not going to happen.
Mm-mm.
You would think that it would, but I'm here to tell you, a lot of people are going to see that $15.99 frame on it and be like, why am I paying $15.99 a month when I used to watch this for free on regular cable or other means? So
Exactly. But here's the thing also too. If you kind of look at the way things are currently going right now, look at the base that Netflix has already in regards to how many people have it in the home, how many people are streaming this everywhere. So, to be honest, it will be a little bit of a shock at first because some of the people who were used to watching it for free on USA Network,
mhm,
if they don't have Netflix, then yeah, they're probably going to ask themselves the question, is it going to be worth it?
right. Is it really worth it though? I would say yes. And here's the reason why. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of fans should recognize this right now. If they are now going to be on, say, Netflix, does this mean we come out of the PG era?
I think that's the natural progression of it right now.
That would
They
mean
can
for me
switch. They can switch their rating from the PG era
Mhm.
to the rated MA era. And
Literally.
I could tell you this much, they do that, a lot of these wrestlers are going to start having a little bit more creative freedom and they won't have as many restrictions on them as they do now.
They really don't. We won't get certain promos that were as stale as 2-week-old bread. Yeah, I'm talking about CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and just I think also too, who says that Raw will continually be 3 hours come January 2025?
That is true. And also, if you've been keeping tabs on this, it has also been announced that Monday Night Raw will no longer have commercials moving over to Netflix.
That's right. No ads whatsoever. So we're going to get a lot more stuff in there. More wrestlers can be actually seen on Raw, whether it be a match
The,
or a backstage promo of some sort.
these people that are stuck in catering are going to see themselves getting opportunities to actually wrestle again,
Which is always a good thing. So more of your
mm-hmm.
roster is being used.
Mm-hmm.
I like the deal. I like it. I want to see how it works. Personally, I have the Netflix, so it's whatever. Like we said earlier, it's in a lot of people's households already. So it's just how they're going to do it now going into January. They got a lot of time to work on it. I think they'll probably add some features to it that'll be exclusive just to them. And hey, we're moving into the age. We said before, some of these shows we're going to be moving to streaming services, and look what's
Mm-hmm.
happening right before our eyes with Monday Night Raw. Here it is, a show that was just from the Manhattan Center almost 3 decades ago. Now it's going to be on streaming devices. Who would have thought that? Almost 30 years ago.
Yes, and that's right, Bobby. More wrestlers are going to start getting TV time now because there won't be any commercials, and all the money is coming from Netflix. So it's not they're not going to have to satisfy these corporate sponsors anymore.
Now, the only thing, and of course this wasn't said yet, that I'm worried about is Netflix going to be all over branding wise? Meaning, are we going to see it on the ring apron? Are we going to see it on the turnbuckles? Are we going to see it, Instead of saying Mattel presents Survivor Series, is it going to be Netflix presents Survivor
No, because
Series?
that would tick off the CW and also
USA.
USA. So I don't see that happening. I think more than likely what will happen is kind of like when Raw moved to TNN, like in like the 2010s.
Do we have to remember that?
I
Do we have
know
to
it was
remember those
horrible.
days?
It was horrible. It wasn't
Ugh.
2010s. It was like the late 90s, early 2000s that they moved there for a little while.
If you want to see how a network can actually kill a product, just look at WWE RAW back on TNN. It was that bad.
I'm telling you, it'll probably be like a small logo that's either plastered on somewhere on the Titantron, like in a small corner or something, or else it'll be something that's on the announcer desk. It's not going to be anything, you know, over extravagant, because if they go too far into the branding, then it's almost going to seem like they don't want the Raw, SmackDown, and NXT rosters to intermingle whenever it comes to like premium live events and everything else. Because also too, remember, we still have the Peacock deal still currently in effect with the WWE also. So there's got to be some rules and guidelines with Netflix in the agreement that they signed, saying, okay, you can brand to an extent, but if you go past this, then we will upset our other sponsors, which is Peacock, CW, freaking USA, all those companies, and also the companies abroad that are streaming this, including I think Disney is one of them that's over in the
India. That is
India.
correct.
Yeah,
that is correct.
So I'm sure there's a leash on it to an extent.
It definitely should be. Now, here's the funny thing. As soon as this announcement came out that, WWE is moving to Netflix, people already started thinking, and this is one I actually got sent into my inbox personally, saying, hey, DJ, what the deal for WWE and Netflix? Does this mean that us over here in the UK can actually watch Netflix WWE RAW and no longer have to watch it the other way on the WWE network? Remember, in England and parts going out further east, they still have the WWE network. The only place where you do not have it is here in the States because it's done through Peacock. So a lot of moving pieces. I think we'll learn a little bit more as it gets closer to the January date. But what a deal, man. They were really, wow, just we're in shock, as you can see, still.
Yeah.
And it's been just a good day since the big announcement.
And our wheels are still turning about what could happen with this Netflix deal. And of course, you know how they say things come in threes. We've already talked about WWE 2K24. We've already talked about the monumental Netflix deal that WWE pulled off for Raw. Now we're officially looking at the People's Champion officially joining TKO's board of directors. Guys, this one was monumental as well. TKO's been very busy.
Let me tell you something here. I think the TKO group and WWE and all of them, they were listening to Meek Mill when he said, hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished. Because this kept hitting one after the other after the other. Big moves. If WWE wanted to be in the news this week, they definitely are for all different reasons. And they're all good too.
Yep. Now, the whole situation with this is The Rock actually knows of people on the board. I believe one of them's even his agent. His agent's also a member of the board.
That's correct.
And so naturally he was approached about joining the board, and he accepted. But one of his conditions, this is one of the other things that kind of happened that people kind of didn't catch at first, is when he joined the board, he got the rights to The Rock as part of his conditions of joining the board of directors for TKO.
Yes.
There are very few wrestlers that you know of that are either past or current WWE superstars that have the ownership rights to their gimmick. And The Rock has just added himself to that list with this condition to him accepting the position to be on the board of directors. Now, the big question that actually he got asked on ESPN, I think it was today or I think it was a couple days ago when it was first announced. He was asked, are you going to be at WrestleMania? Are you going to wrestle again? Here's the clip.
Are we gonna see that? I mean, WrestleMania is coming up. Raw. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff with the WWE. I'm asking you this question.
Yes.
Are we gonna see? Are we gonna see you?
Well, look, you guys know. I feel like I'm a long gamer.
Yeah.
And I like to build. And this is something like this. What this is, if myself and Roman Reigns were to main event WrestleMania. And I mean this very respectfully of all the WrestleManias prior, because I grew up in this business and I love it. We could possibly put on, with us as a main event and this incredible group of men and women who are these incredible performers, we could possibly put on the greatest and the biggest WrestleMania of all time.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There's a chance, Molly.
So the rumor and the possibility of Roman Reigns versus The Rock is picking up more momentum now, especially since The Rock has joined the board of directors. It's getting pushed forward. Now, this is what's going to have to happen. This is because Roman is kind of in that same category as Brock Lesnar right now. He is able to show up when he wants to, and he is able to stay home when he wants to. What's going to have to happen is after the Royal Rumble, Roman's going to have to come back a little more often than what he is now to build this match. Because just like you heard The Rock say a little while ago, he likes to build up to. He's a long-term storyteller. So if you start at the Rumble, this is going to be enough time to build this story all the way to Mania. It's going to have to be like every other week, 1 week, the Roman's there, the next week, The Rock's there, so on and so forth, to build this. And then every once in a while between that, they both have face-to-face promos leading all the way to Mania. Because if they want to sell this out, if they want to make this the biggest match in WrestleMania history, they have to build it right. If they don't, it's going to fall flat. People are going to get pissed. And I'm going to say it like this right now. The AEW marks are not going to let you live it down.
Fuck you.
What'd I say? Tell me I'm wrong.
That will be that fan base coming after your throw. So
because I'm telling you,
I agree wholeheartedly. We've seen this setup before, though, right? Sometimes a lot of wrestling fans, they get amnesia. They forget how things happen. Remember it was the night after Mania. John Cena was in the ring, and then everybody knew what was coming next, and it was Brock Lesnar. I can pretty much almost guarantee it. That's right. DJ is telling y'all now. Night after WrestleMania, we're going to get the same setup, and we're going to get billed for WrestleMania next year, Rock versus Reigns. It sells itself. It's not going to happen this year. It's not going to happen this year. It's not going to happen this year. It's not. It will feel rushed. Think about it now. We're at the end of January. We have WrestleMania literally just days away. Royal Rumble, days away.
Yes.
We then have the Elimination Chamber down there in Australia. And then it's finally Mania. We might even get a fast lane in between there.
Yeah, we usually get a fast lane before Mania.
Before Mania.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? That'll be way too fast to put that match together.
So you really think they're going to push the Roman versus The Rock match to Mania next year?
Make it like gumbo, slow burn.
Because they're already talking that Cody Rhodes isn't going to get his main event match at Mania. They're already talking about he's going to wind up wrestling someone else, and he's not going to be a main eventer for WrestleMania this year.
Well, I can almost guarantee that one of those matches, or probably into a specialty match, will involve him and CM Punk.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That will be it. So that's where the whole not finishing the story is going to come from, because I think Roman's probably going to take on somebody else. But I do not think it's going to be The Rock this soon. WWE is used to making these storylines long, draw them out, get people in there, have everyone behind it. Literally, WrestleMania, if you think about it, is like 10 weeks away.
Shit.
It's only 10 weeks away.
Yeah.
And mind you, you have to build Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and possibly Fastlane. Plus with all the WWE TV. No.
Well, we pretty much know the champions that walk out of the Rumble as champions, they're going to be defending at WrestleMania. Those are the ones that are going to defend at WrestleMania. They're not going to lose their titles between after the Rumble to there, unless something happens, i.e., Seth Rollins with his injury, if he's not on the mend as quick as he hopes.
Yes.
Like, I could see something happening at Elimination Chamber or even Fastlane if something happens with him. And of course, their emergency ripcord is obviously Damian Priest with the Money in the Bank contract. So if something does happen with him, obviously Damian will just cash in, quick pin, he's gone, and then that allows Seth to rest and heal. Yeah, but then that deprives us of the match of him versus Gunther,
which everybody seems to want and think that is going to happen, including yours truly. But either case, whether we still got 10 weeks left, would it be good to have Rock versus Reigns? Yes. Anywhere you put that would be great. But knowing how that could be a cash cow for them for the entire year going into WrestleMania, listen, if tickets sell out this fast for WrestleMania being in Philly, can you imagine how fast they would sell out knowing you have Rock versus Reigns to headline either night 1 or night 2 of next year's WrestleMania?
Wow. If next year's WrestleMania has Roman versus The Rock, then yes, it's going to be night 2 because they're going to want to end Mania with that match.
Those two. Exactly. Yeah. So I love it. I know everybody else loved it. WWE fans really had a lot to talk about this week, but let us know on social media what you think of WWE's crazy week where they hit all different aspects. They hit video games. They hit business. They did it all in just 48 hours. So let us know on social media. At IG, of course, is the Wrestling Revival Podcast. And then on X, Elon Musk is still calling it that tonight, so that's what we're going to call it. That is at TWRP_official. And then, yes, we are on TikTok. So that would be at TWRP_official_. So whichever social media you love the most, you can follow the Wrestling Revival Podcast on there as well.
Yes, exactly. Now, let's go ahead and step away from the WWE here for just a few minutes. We are going to jump into AEW Dynamite. Now, AEW Dynamite just went off the air literally minutes before we came on for the episode. So I didn't really get to catch the beginning of it. I caught the last 2 matches of the night. But DJ, go ahead and give us a quick recap of what happened at the beginning of the episode.
Well, just like how it was last week, we got started with the AEW World Champion, who is Samoa Joe, of course, coming out to the ring.
Joe.
Exactly. He came out to the ring, and the next thing you know, he had to look in the air because he saw the Hook sign. That's right, Hook, who did take the loss last week in his attempt to become AEW champion, came out and did what Brooklyn people do. That's right. Mr. 718, 730. He gave out his hand in a handshake saying, you beat me last week, but someday I will be back. So leading the seed to where Hook could possibly get a run or another shot at Samoa Joe, whoever the champion is at that point later on. That was a good way to put it for Hook. And then Hook decided to beat up on 3 security guards just for the hell of it. So that was pretty much fun right there. Just what Brooklyn people do. I know because that's where I'm from. But first match of the night was Hangman Adam Page taking on Mr. Penta Zero and Mero. Y'all know the sign. But in the match, Hangman did get the victory. didn't expect nothing more from him because he's 3-0 right now in 2024. And I say that record because some of y'all may not know, AEW is going back to the ranking system this year. So February 1st, this upcoming Thursday, you will be seeing the rankings back on social media and on their website, AEW Wrestling. Now, how does that figure in with Hangman Page? Because Swerve, that's right, Mr. Swerve himself, was also on the card taking on Jeff Hardy. Now, let's bow our heads in remembrance of Jeff Hardy. Because Jeff Hardy got his ass whooped tonight. He damn sure did. He got his ass whooped. He put on a valiant effort, but you can see in this match, if anybody was in doubt and thought Jeff Hardy can still go in the ring, Swerve told you otherwise tonight. It was that bad.
Sting looks better in the ring than Jeff Hardy does right now, but go ahead and continue.
Both of them just looked horrible. But Jeff Hardy is
Sting still looks better.
Well, he does wear a bomber jacket, so Sting does it better. But Swerve did get the victory. Classic couple of close call finishes, but in the end, Swerve did finish him off. Now, that's leading to next week where it's going to be a dealer's choice matches for both Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland. Who are their opponents and what's the stipulations? We will be finding out just next week. Now, they did have a six-man tag that led with the Acclaimed going up against, that group of Brian Cage and the Gates of Agony. Yeah, about that. I guess they say, the Golden State Warriors said a few years back, there's strength in numbers. I guess the Acclaim got that message as well because, they are now down with the Bullet Club Gold. Bang, bang, bang.
Bang, bang, scissor gang.
Yeah, wow. We're going to take that and make that into a shirt or something for us. But, hey, Jelly Roll, you going to do the remix with him?
They don't have enough money to pay me to do that shit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Shady Roll. My bad. Shady Roll. But no, match was pretty good. But in the end, you knew Billy Gunn hit the famouser, and that was all she wrote. 1, 2, 3. So it looks like we're going to be getting more of this Acclaimed and Bang Bang Scissor Gang for a little time longer. I think by Revolution, it's going to break. I really think it's going to break.
I think Bullet Club Gold is going to turn against the Acclaimed and go after their titles. They want to be the undisputed trios champions.
I'm not even in disagreement with you. I think that will probably happen. But let's get this here before we continue. Bobby says, what if Swerve Strickland picks someone from New Japan Pro Wrestling to wrestle against Hangman Adam Page? Now, that could be it. You do know that, if you don't know already, AEW and New Japan has a very good working relationship. So somebody could be coming over and face one of these two guys, or maybe not even somebody on the roster of either company. Hint, hint. Gotta wait until next week. But then in the main event tonight, it was a crazy mother going up against another crazy motherfucker. You had Adam Copeland going up against Minoru Suzuki. Now listen, if you see Minoru Suzuki on the street and he's a little agitated, go the other way. Because that man is crazy.
Don't even try to walk up to him for an autograph. Don't try to pull what fans pull with Rey Mysterio showing up with like 10 Funko Pops trying to get him to sign it. No. Suzuki's going to flat out headbutt you and then tell you get the hell out of his way.
Literally. Because, a man that walks around there with his haircut looking like that and your name's not KB, I just don't know how to feel about that. So,
KB flat out got that taste of rainbow hairline right now.
Jesus, man. I call it a half silver moon, just me. I'm just saying. That's what I call it.
You shouldn't have been talking shit.
Facts.
So in the end, after a very grueling match, both guys going really at each other, Edge did get the victory, aka Adam Copeland, whichever you want to call him. There's still some people that call him Edge. It's fine. We know who you're talking about. But good match for him. He's continuing on his course to, y'all know how this is going to end. Going up against Christian Cage at Revolution some type of specialty match. I think it's going to be in a steel cage, honestly. But it was a good match.
Bobby said, I like the match between Adam Copeland and Suzuki. We did too. And to be honest, I think the reason why this match happened for him is this was probably on his checklist of people he wanted to face as he signed with AEW. So him doing this little gauntlet that he's doing right now, it's allowing him to wrestle the people he wasn't going to get a chance to wrestle at all. So good for him. AEW actually paid a little extra to go over their time, but it was only by like 2-3 minutes that they
literally. It was,
and but you know that costs a couple grand though, more than a couple grand. That probably cost
50,000.
Good 50 for 3 extra minutes.
Hey, they will literally do it. They don't mind. So all in all, an okay show from AEW Dynamite. Not one of its best, I think, because Timeless was missing out of that. You know, we didn't get a little bit of Timeless. You know how I feel about Tony Storm, but
Tony Storm, that gimmick, that character,
still top,
still good.
But it does lead into not Dynamite, but a very special Collision this upcoming Saturday, because this upcoming Saturday, they definitely have a match that everyone needs to be paying attention to. It is FTR and Daniel Garcia versus the House of Black in a 6-man elimination style steel cage match. Say that 3 times.
Again, a pay-per-view level main event being on regular TV. This is what's happening right now in AEW. And you know what? They are literally taking a huge step in the right direction for 2024 by giving us the Adam Copeland versus Suzuki match, and now the FDR House of Black steel cage match.
This is going to be insane.
You know what? Y'all know me. I don't lean one way or the other when it comes to any wrestling promotion. Hearing me give this much praise, what?
I ain't saying nothing.
You're not saying nothing, huh?
Now
you ain't saying nothing?
I'm not saying nothing.
You ain't saying nothing.
Fuck you.
You don't have to be so aggressive. My goodness. Jeez.
You shouldn't have been talking shit.
I'm telling you. Okay, what company do I lean on? What company do I lean on?
Whichever one gives you the most check there, Jelly Roll. So no, in all honesty, no, I'm just joking with you.
Yeah.
We don't tend to lean to a side. We're just critical of certain things that any company does, whether it be WWE, AEW, and TNA. Now, you know, our social media is going to get blown up because they're like, wait a minute, you guys gave credit to WWE most of this episode. Well, guess what? When you do right, we'll say it. It's just what happens.
And flat out, WWE did right this first 48 hours of this week. They did right.
Literally did.
I saw on social media someone who invested in TKO when the agreement was first, like their first official day of UFC and WWE being under the TKO brand. He bought stock into it. Like, it was very little. I think he said he spent less than $100 buying stock into it. When he sold it, he showed how much he made when all these announcements were made. He sold right after. He only invested like a little under $100. He made $28,000 off of that investment.
Huge.
This is huge for TKO. And to be honest, I think this was the breath of fresh air that WWE needs. Now, are they going to continue on this trend? That's the big question, because we know them in the past. They have made huge improvements. And then all of a sudden, for the next 6 to 8 months, they're horrible after that.
The WWE, for some reason, I think there's something they need to get back to. Remember, guys, watching all the show everywhere, whether you're on X or here on YouTube, our premium service to watch the show. Do y'all remember being so amped for the night after Mania?
Oh God.
Do
yes.
you remember being ultra crazy? The crowd was into it and everything. We haven't had that in almost 3 years.
I can tell you this. If they keep going on the trend they are, this Monday after WrestleMania this year, it's going to be huge.
And that's what they need, because it seems like after WrestleMania is over, that's when the drop happens. And then, of course, when September rolls around and football's back, that's when the drop happens too.
Okada. Wouldn't that be some shit? They sign Okada and he turns around and shows up the Monday after Mania.
Ridiculous. Only if
That
he gets
would
to
be
keep
huge.
his name. Okay.
Dude, I bet you anything they'll give him the same deal they gave Cody Rhodes. Let
They
him
have
bring
to.
all his shit. He is
They
the
have to.
rainmaker in WWE.
Wow.
But anyway, that's just hoping on my side, because I would love to see that, but they're having them starting NXT.
Yeah, but you know what? You know, we're giving too much credit to WWE.
We need to stop.
Yeah,
At this point, we need to do this.
Shut your bitch ass up.
I mean, gosh, he gets right under the board. Now he's telling us to shut our ass up. Like,
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir, calm yourself.
Let's see. We have another comment here from Bobby. I'd like to see more. Oh yeah, she just debuted on AEW, but didn't she have a match tonight or
she
Saturday?
has had about 2 matches so far. She did one on AEW, and then she did one on Collision this past weekend. And I mean, like, she's really good. The women's division in AEW, quite honestly, at this very moment, is probably the best women's division in all of professional wrestling. Hands down, top to bottom, you name every name. Yes, they are. Think about the people that haven't been seen yet for 2024. We're just getting Serena D back on Saturday. Literally one of the best technical women wrestlers in the entire world. Britt Baker is still going to NFL games. She hasn't even been back.
Okay.
Jamie Hayter, Layla Hirsch.
Okay. Give me a minute. Let me talk my shit real quick.
Okay, Eminem.
Am I dressed in all black?
No, but you definitely have on Eminem's type of hat right now. Now, everybody from the 313, put your motherfucking hands up and follow me.
No. Anyway, we're going to stop that. Anyway, I partially agree with that. Now, let me tell you why it's only partially. The names that you've named, how many of them have been wrestling consistently for the last couple months? Realistically.
Well,
besides
definitely
Tony Storm.
Not Britt. I will probably say out of those names, none actually.
Okay. Now, once these big names come back, like we've already saw Thunder Rosa come back. She had her first match on Collision this past Saturday, and then she had another match tonight.
Yes.
So she's back. She's trying to put herself in a position to go against Tony Storm.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she's trying to do. You have Julia Hart. She's going to have a banger of a year this year. I honestly think she might lose the TBS title this year. But here's the thing. The second she loses that, she's immediately getting put into the world title picture.
Exactly.
Immediately. It's literally going to be like, oh no, I dropped the title. I'm challenging this person for the women's championship. The point is, a lot of the AEW's big names of women's wrestlers, they haven't really been active yet. Now, once the women start putting bangers on this year, then yes, hands down, I will say it's the best. On paper, I partially agree that it is. The only thing is we have not seen a massive match from the women in a while. I'm not talking about a decent match or a good match. I'm talking about a Thunder Rosa Britt Baker level match. When they fought for the AEW Women's Championship, and Britt Baker debuted the Crimson Mask. You know, they have not had that high of a level match happen in AEW in a while.
I hear what you're saying, but there's something about having talent. They have it.
Oh,
Every
yeah.
name on that list can put on those matches. Just think about it like this. A lot of people saying they was tired of Britt Baker. The other people need to, show. Britt Baker hasn't been there in months.
Mm-mm.
She's not
Because
even.
her reasoning, sorry for cutting in, but her reasoning behind not being on TV for so long is because she listens to the fans, and the fans were like, I'm tired of seeing her.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay, cool. I'm going to let the rest of the women's division carry this. I'm going to go take a break. I'm going to go and be by Adam Cole's side while he's trying to heal up. I'm going to go work my regular job. I'm going to go do my own thing, but still do things in the back for AEW, like going to games, doing events for them and everything else. So, I mean, it was by the request of the fans that Britt Baker has not been on TV.
And just think about it. We have had people grow and become more of household names than, like, say, your hardcore wrestling fan, Sky Blue. Let me tell y'all something here right now.
Sky Blue.
Sky Blue, just a few years ago, was doing openings before Dynamite came on at a certain Grand Slam a few years back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now she's one of the main names you would say are part of the women's division in AEW. That doesn't happen if a certain Brit doesn't back off.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just think about it. This is just January. We already got Thunder Rosa coming back. Britt will return probably by Revolution.
Oh, yeah. Because
we have Layla Hirsch. We still got Jamie Hayter that has to make a return.
She should be making her return at any time now.
Right. Which I'm thinking also will probably be
Revolution.
So that women's division, somebody has to show me differently. I know the Jordan Grace fans out there. I know you got the WWE fans out there too going for mommy. But top to bottom and everywhere in between, sorry, AEW has it.
Because I will give AEW credit for this. When they have a big talent, like, for example, Britt Baker or anyone like that step away, they organically let someone step up. That's how we got the timeless Toni Storm come in. That's how we got Julia Hart to join House of Black and turn into the female wrestler that we see now that will be a future women's world champion this year or early next year, become a women's champion. And that's coming from someone who was a cheerleader for Varsity Blondes.
Come on, we're not going back to those horrible times. We're not doing
that. Was horrible times for her. But you know what? With people like Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa, who was the first AEW women's champion? I'm trying to remember. God, I have such a hard time.
Oh, that was real.
Yeah. She stepped away, but she stepped back in when they really needed her to, and she won the title. And I think that was back when Toni Storm was kind of starting to do the transition. Her losing the title to her was the process, her starting the process of turning into timeless Toni Storm.
Yes.
And her losing the title to her made sense in her transition. When she came back and she was timeless, then she got the title back, and look at the run she's had now. It's been a pretty decent run. Too. Yeah, it's a pretty decent run. So, I mean, yes, I will agree from top to bottom, the AEW roster is better, but you know what? You have a better roster. You need to start showing off your women's division more than what you are.
And I think that's going to happen even with the promo for Serena Deeb, which has been going on for the past few weeks. And we finally had the reveal of when she returns. She's returning on Collision this Saturday. When was the last time you heard of a female wrestler on the women's division side getting this big grand promo and return? And Serena Deeb, of all people.
Which is a little surprising to me. I'm going to be honest, because she wasn't really that high up there with them before her injury.
She actually was, meaning like technical, because her and matches were really good. She's literally the Dean Malenko of
I'm not taking away that the matches weren't good. I'm taking away the fact that it doesn't seem like the company was behind her to push her up into that direction of eventually being in that top tier to be able to challenge for the women's title. It doesn't seem like that. Now, with this promo, with these promos they've been doing and her finally getting her debut date for Saturday, that starts bringing up, okay, that's happening. Are they going to actually pour an effort into Deeb to actually give her a legitimate chance to make a run? Because she's up there in age.
She is, but when she wrestles in that ring, you get very surprised of things that she's doing in that ring.
I'm not saying that's not surprising at all. I'm just saying that she's up there in age. If they're going to give her a chance, if they're going to give her a chance to have a run with the women's title, they need to do it now.
So how about this? Would you say this is a good analogy here? Serena Deeb is the Natalia of AEW.
I would say that's appropriate.
There we go. That's how we'll put it.
That's appropriate. Yeah.
She is the Natalia, but less annoying. Sorry, Natalia. Sorry. Just had to say that there. But
what's up?
Get your man.
All right.
Was there a lie told? Like, I'm just saying.
No, there wasn't, but I'm kind of like, damn, she does kind of fall into that category, but man.
Yeah, she's the Natalia of AEW.
Yeah.
She's less annoying.
There's no lies detected.
No, not at all. You know what? Let me stop because I'm gonna.
You ain't shit for that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have certain fan bases crying in the bed tonight. So let me stop. Let me leave them alone.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to our last topic of the night, and it is going to be the Royal Rumble. Who is going to win the men's and women's Royal Rumble matches, and who could possibly be the surprise entrance for the Rumble? Now, I can tell you this right now. DJ and I have sat here the past 2 nights. We've sat here and debated who we think would show up and who we think could potentially win. We agreed on some things. We didn't agree on everything. For example, let's go ahead and start with the men's Royal Rumble. Now, DJ, I think myself and the audience probably has a pretty good idea of who you think is going to win the men's Royal Rumble, but just go ahead and fill us in here, man. What do you think? Who do you think is going to win?
I personally have it as CM Punk. No, I'm just playing. No,
I was about to say, you better quit that shit right now.
Do that. Hell no. I'm not picking Mr. Phil Brooks. But if you've been paying attention to this show, hint, hint, you should know already who is my guy to be coming out of the Royal Rumble winning that match. He put on a show last year. He carried WWE on his back all of 2023. I'm not talking about Roman Reigns, so I got to be talking about the current reigning and defending Intercontinental Champion. My pick for the 2024 Royal Rumble is Gunther. That's right. I said Gunther. Gunther. It's going to be him. I'm going with him.
Well, you know what? That is a pretty good pick. The ring general is positioning himself to have one hell of a year in 2024. Could he be one of those few to actually hold the mid-card title and the world title at the same time? Just like Seth Rollins when he held the WWE Championship and the US Championship. Exactly like how Booker T held the World Heavyweight title and the US title. Is Gunther going to follow that same blueprint and be the first one to hold the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and the Intercontinental title. Now, if you actually look back, there hasn't been anyone that's ever done that with the Intercontinental title before. It's been the U.S. title that's been tied to the World Championship.
So it's something new to it, and hey.
And this would add to his resume for his career. He was the longest reigning WWE UK champion.
Yes.
He is the longest current reigning Intercontinental champion.
Mm-hmm.
Could we see him add another accolade by turning around and becoming the first person to hold the World Heavyweight Championship and the Intercontinental title? It's going to be interesting to see. That is actually a very solid pick to win the Men's Royal Rumble. Me, on the other hand, I actually have picked someone different. You see, Bobby's on the same wavelength as you, man. Picking Gunther to win the whole thing. This is where I'm going with it. Now, when it comes to the Men's Royal Rumble, I kind of think about the people who have been in the Royal Rumble consistently within the last couple years. And I think to kind of cap off this person's career, he needs to add a Royal Rumble win to it. He has held the U.S. title. He has held the WWE Championship. When he was on SmackDown, it was called the house that AJ Styles built. To me, it makes sense for AJ Styles to actually win the Royal Rumble this year, because I feel like this is an accolade he is missing, and it makes the most sense in my eyes. Now, yes, I know a lot of people are going to be like, what the hell? Why is he picking this random person in AJ Styles to win the Royal Rumble? Dude, you know what? At the beginning, I will admit, I did have Gunther picked at first, but with the character that AJ Styles is currently working with, he is trying to remake his TNA character from towards the end of his TNA career. The one where he was kind of the lone person. I don't want to say lone wolf, because then everybody's going to say, oh, Baron Corbin. Oh, fuck that guy. Anyway, it's more of he was the lone person by himself against everybody. You could even see it with his group with Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, and Mia Yim. He has very little interaction with them. He could care less, because he's pissed off at them for not helping him back when the bloodline was jumping him and caused him to be out for months. So he's ticked off at them. He's carrying a chip on his shoulder. He's in this Royal Rumble match, which I could tell you this, it's either going to be him or it's going to be LA Knight that eats the pin. And I mean, we could get a massive swerve, and Roman Reigns could lose the belt by Randy Orton pinning one of them.
Wait, did you just say that? Did you say that there could be an opportunity where Roman doesn't walk out of the Royal Rumble still champion?
That's my opinion right now. That could definitely happen. They are setting it up to look like that right now.
So, and this is what the bloodline is thinking of you right now.
You ain't shit for that.
Over.
I'm so sick of these people. You know. Oh.
Yeah. Look, I don't like the guy just showing up to work when he feels like it, whenever he wants this stuff. But yeah, if Roman was to lose at the Royal Rumble, I think the internet would stop running.
So why wouldn't it be a perfect time to just pull a shock and awe moment?
For what? Just a night? Or do you want to finish the story?
You know what? At this point, don't get me wrong. I want Cody Rhodes to win the title, but I think we're to the point right now to when he does win it, everyone's going to be like, eh.
Yes, it's definitely a mad moment. They should have pulled the trigger at WrestleMania 39. We know that. But it's just like, for all of this, all of this built up for, if it's not going to be The Rock doing it next year, no. Randy Orton? Do you really want that all over every news publication in the world, whether wrestling or non-wrestling, to have that up there? The streak ends, Randy Orton, the Thrones, Roman Reigns.
Do you not remember him starting to mention his old gimmick, the Legend Killer?
Oh yes,
Add another legend to his legacy. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm just paying attention.
Oh, I know you're paying attention.
I don't see it. I don't see it. Don't get me wrong. That Viper's a sneaky son of a bitch. He is. He's a sneaky one. He would do a thing of pinning AJ Styles and then running for the hills. That would be him. But I think if that was to happen, it'd be more of a shock when Brock Lesnar beat the Undertaker streak.
And I could tell you this, Bloodline fans, this would be them going after Triple H. Be like, you son of a bitch.
Exactly. That's what definitely it would be. So, okay. We got Gunther on my side winning the Rumble. Cyber is saying that it is going to be AJ Styles. No, yeah. And we now got to take it to the women's side of it. Now, matter of fact, before we even get to the women, who do you think will be a surprise entrant on the male side for it? And I think, per our conversation before, we got one guy circled rather quickly on that list.
Of course, because I mean, this person just ended their tenure, just ended their time with AEW. He obviously has a significant other in the WWE right now.
Yes.
So one of the surprise entrants, which technically wouldn't be a surprise because it kind of was written all over the walls.
Yes.
Andrade El Idolo makes his triumphant return back to the WWE, and I could tell you this: Charlotte Flair will be sitting somewhere watching.
Yeah, she will definitely be watching. That's a nice little road trip from Tampa, going right to Tropicana Field. So yeah, she would definitely be in the building. So
okay, and DJ, who else do you think is going to be a surprise entrant into the Rumble?
Are we still talking for the men, or are we talking
for the men? Yes, for the men.
Ooh, that's honestly, I think that's still a very hard thing to pick. I can't really pinpoint one other person. I think it might be some NXT call-ups.
Yes.
I do think that will hit that part of the show. Definitely Carmelo will not miss his opportunity. But I really can't think of another guy coming straight out of, say, another company or New Japan or TNA. I can't really think of that guy. I really can't.
Oh, wait. We've got someone chiming in here. Bobby, for surprise entrant, I'm picking Matt Cardona. He's not signed anywhere. He's an indie guy, so he could realistically make an appearance.
That could be one, but for the character that he's been doing on the indies for like the past year and a half, 2 years,
the indie god,
I can't see him then going back to the Long Island guy in WWE. I just can't see it.
No, with the direction that WWE is slowly starting to shift to, he wouldn't come back as a Long Island guy.
It would be his gimmick
it would be Matt Cardona, and he would he would freaking rep that indie god thing all over the place there in WWE. I could tell you that much. He would, you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if he'd go to NXT just to rub it in their faces. Those guys down there do it on Raw, especially once they go to Netflix and if they turn TVMA. Whoo!
Yeah, hopefully they'll save those promos because some guys can't do it anymore. I'm just saying. Just can't do it. But
Matt Cardona's has gotten a lot better with his promos since being in the indies.
No, he definitely has. So yeah.
And plus his wife is in the WWE, you know, so that's another definite possibility.
Right. So I think that'll probably be it. I think Andrade will be the big name from not being with the company for a couple of years, making his return back. And hey, even Matt Cardona, I'll take that too.
And there is one more that I want to throw out there. No, it's not MJF. No, we know he's on the mend.
Mhm.
He's not going to show up. If he does, I'd be surprised. And then probably the people who watch AEW that are at WrestleMania will probably start chanting, "That's my scumbag."
Scumbag is in New York, sir. He's in New York, and he's going to stay there for quite some time.
No, that is like beyond an outside shot that he would be showing up, because we know he's injured. We know he needs to be on the shelf to mend. So I've heard people bringing him up, and I even thought so for a little bit, but then realistically, he's legitimately injured. So he needs to be on the shelf. Now, does that mean he's going to sign back with AEW? Not sure. Probably. But, you know, people like to stir the pot. So
exactly.
My last one that I was referring to, Okada. It's already rumored that he's going to be signing and going to NXT, which I told DJ this. I honestly think if he goes to NXT, it's just to learn the WWE system, which means he would probably be down there maybe a couple weeks and then transition to the main roster. So which means he shows up for the Rumble, he competes, he gets eliminated by one of the big talents. You know, it could be Cody Rhodes or AJ Styles. Hell, AJ Styles would actually make sense to eliminate Okada. One IWGP champion eliminating another?
Yes. But remember,
that would make sense.
This is still the WWE that doesn't like to mention previous championships.
Well, actually, they have done that in the past, though. They've done it with Brock Lesnar, with him being a former IWGP World Champion. I've heard them do it for AJ Styles at least once or twice.
Yes, but compared to the other company that has no problem saying that, it's a big difference.
Or TNA flat out saying they're not going to ask where Nick Namath was. They're going to ask what happened to Dolph Ziggler.
Right. So, yeah. So those are those type of things. But those three, honestly, could definitely should be the top three list of
exactly.
Make a big reveal and show up back there. One we figured is going to. One was previously with the company, who made his name even more big on the indies, and then the Rainmaker himself. So not bad.
It's going to be a very interesting Rumble. We're going to go ahead and shift over. We were talking about the men's. Now let's go ahead and talk about the women's Royal Rumble match now. Now, normally DJ and I, we pretty much are on the same wavelength for the most part when it comes to certain things. This one, we're not. We both kind of agree either one of our picks could win the Rumble.
Yes.
But just for the sake of arguing, because you know, Yankee and Astro, we can never get along that well.
Spring training 3 weeks away.
Yeah. Pitchers report when? In the
February
next
10th.
February 10th is when they report. Okay,
yes.
I thought so. Okay. So anyway, that shit starts all over again. Okay.
Back to the scene of the crime for you guys.
Damn it. Can we wait until February 10th, sir?
No, sir. No. Well, you know what? Why don't you put that up to a Ranger next time? How about that?
You ain't shit. Anyway, okay, so this time I will go first in regards to who I think is going to win the Rumble. The Women's Rumble. Originally, I was torn between two superstars, but I ultimately came down to one. And I'm going with Bayley. Bayley, I think she has the most to gain from women winning the Women's Royal Rumble, with Io Sky and Damage Control being the women's champion. we could see her, if she wins, going and challenging Rhea Ripley for the title. And if she wins, that puts Damage Control 100% in control of the women's single title division. And we already know that they are going to also challenge, the Kabuki Warriors are going to actually challenge for the women's tag team titles too. So, I mean, could we potentially be looking at Damage Control being draped in gold by the midpoint of this year? Or could we be looking at a potential Damage Control turning on Bayley?
That last part definitely seems like it could be it. I think Bayley has a legit shot of winning it. For me, like you said, Houston Astros fan and New York Yankee fan, never really agree on much, and we don't with this one here. I'm actually going to have to go with a person that was actually on the cover of WWE 2K24. And the reason why I say this even more is because not only is she on that, she's also part of a new reality show debuting on Hulu in just 1 week. So, of course, I'm talking about the Mrs. to Montez Ford. I'm talking about the EST, Bianca Belair.
And, you know, I'll be honest, that was the one I was torn with between Bayley and Bianca, because it's either one of them have so much of an upswing to winning the Women's Royal Rumble. But if Bianca winds up winning, then they literally can have two people who are on the cover for the WWE 2K24 battling for a championship.
Literally.
It literally writes the story for itself for Mania. Dakota Kai, is she even cleared right now? She's more in a managerial role.
I don't know, but that would be one of their surprises, that she's just ready to go and joins in on the Rumble side. So that could be a possibility too. We'll definitely find out.
It definitely could. Now, we've already done this for the men's. Let's go and do this for the women's too. Who do you think is going to be a surprise entrant into the women's Royal Rumble match?
Well, I think myself and Mr. Shady Roll over there will easily say this one first. It's quite easy. She will be returning. That would be Trinity.
Yes.
Trinity will be back. So she'll be a part of the Rumble. The second one I could see making a return. No, not Dakota Kai necessarily, but it's a certain woman whose theme song is back on Spotify. And if we've seen this late last year, somebody did the same thing while I was on vacation. So I think we're going to finally get it. The writing's on the wall, so you got to at least acknowledge it. Damn, I hate I said that. But Sasha Banks.
And I will tell you this much too. I agree with those two. Trinity and Sasha Banks, both, they're going to be in the Rumble. And I think Sasha Banks secretly has already signed back with the WWE, because we have not heard anything in regards to anything being finalized for her. AEW is very public when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to signing somebody, they will pop out that they're all elite the second that they get them on the dotted line.
Exactly.
So nothing like that has happened. But also, too, there is one more name I want to throw out there. A lot of people are hoping this, especially with the recent return of someone else. The rumor mill started talking the second this person returned. And in typical fashion, this person has gone MIA on Twitter/X since the last post that they legitimately made was back in June. So from June until now, 7 months of preparation. I honestly think that would be an appropriate amount of time to get ready. I think we're going to see AJ Lee come back. At least for the Rumble.
I hope not.
What do you mean you hope not?
I hope not. Because she has made it pretty clear that, a return was not going to happen. And now just because her husband, Mr. Phil Brooks, is now a part of it, I don't want it to be just because Phil Brooks is there. I want it to be because you want it to be there.
I could tell you this. CM Punk, Phil Brooks, I have a feeling, just tell me if I'm wrong here. You could tell that leash is pretty damn tight around his neck.
Very.
It is very tight. Nick Khan and Paul Levesque are not letting this dude off his leash for shit. Because by now, I figured he would have fucked up. How many months are we into it now? He debuted what? Back at Survivor
November.
Series. November.
Mm-hmm.
It's already been December, January. It's already been about 2 months already. We're about to hit 3 months.
Give him time.
I'm still on that train of give him time, but usually by now we would have seen like a little of a oops slip up. We hear someone complaining about him.
Right.
But we haven't heard that yet.
It's coming.
I know it's coming, but also too, these people who say, "Oh, it was all CM Punk's fault. It was all CM Punk's fault." Now, before I say this, I'm going to say this right off the rip. I am not a CM Punk fan. He can go fuck himself. But what if people were wrong about him?
I can't take this shit no more.
Hey, I'm just saying. There is that off chance because we've only heard one side of it. Yes, we know he has a past from when he left the WWE the first time in nuclear bomb explosion way he left. And then he didn't wrestle. He had a very subpar UFC career. I swear to God, I could have probably had a better UFC career than he did.
Jesus.
Get him.
Oh, green Jimmy the cricket suit wearing ass motherfucker.
Get him.
Oh, short Colin Powell haircut having ass motherfucker.
Get him.
Little Angela Davis mustache wearing ass motherfucker.
Get him.
I'm telling you, dude. I'm not saying that people aren't wrong about him, but what if there's that off chance that it was really the Bucks that caused all these problems?
Hell will freeze over. The Dallas Cowboys will win a Super Bowl.
I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying this is like a Marvel what if episode.
I mean, I hear what you're saying. Like, there could be that off chance, but that's that 0.0000000.
Yes, I agree, but there's always that percentage.
Right. Because I'm sorry. I'm waiting for him to screw up somebody.
Oh, yeah.
And let it be a guy like Gunther, who will just dismantle him.
You know CM Punk ain't that stupid.
Well, that's up for debate.
If he does, I would be like, you will not live anymore messing with Gunther. Right. He will give you that one chop and you will keel over in the ring. AJ Lee's going to get ashes back after that episode.
Literally. So, I don't know.
But
it could be, though.
But anyway, that's kind of my prediction in regards to like who a surprise injury could be. I think it could be AJ Lee. We already know if Sasha Banks is probably going to make her return. We know Trinity is going to make her return. Is there anyone else that you could think of that we could potentially see pop up? I mean,
I think for this we will get Jade Cargill. I think Jade Cargill will make an appearance in the Rumble. It's very easy for her, very controlled atmosphere. She'll probably eliminate most or have the highest number of eliminations that night just off of sheer power alone. she can easily get 5 eliminations, but I think she'll probably get around 8 to 10.
Well,
Just to show off her power.
Well, after seeing a couple of videos from the Performance Center of Jade, rolling around, she already looks 10 times better than what she looked in AEW. I hate to say that because, she had the longest TBS title reign, but you could still tell that she was green.
Yeah.
So I could see that. Plus, this gives people the opportunity to see how much she has improved going from one promotion to the other.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I could see that happening. So, those are our predictions. All of our other predictions for the other matches will be going up probably Friday on our social media. So make sure you keep an eye on Instagram, on X, on TikTok. We will have our predictions up. And then you can kind of watch along with the see who's going to have the better track record for the Royal Rumble. So make sure you're following us. Make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button. That helps with the algorithm on YouTube. And also make sure you share the video on X, because I can tell you this, guys, we know we get a lot of viewers from X. Let's make sure that we reflect that. Let's share it. Let's make sure everybody else seeing it. Hell, I want to make sure everybody's mama is seeing it.
Mama's mama, cousins, baby daddy. Well, yeah, okay.
Baby mama,
all of them.
Yeah. Sperm donors, all them. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it.
Wow.
And
Oh my God.
And then this is DJ too.
No. Mm-mm. No. Hell no. I refuse. No.
So, DJ's over here about to have a conniption fit. But you know what, though? There is one thing that is always true. It doesn't matter if it's the middle of baseball season, hockey season, basketball season. It doesn't matter. DJ and I can always agree. Are we still going to be talking shit about the Cowboys? We're still gonna keep on talking shit.
Yes, because that's exactly me. That is the New York Yankee choir. Because I'm damn sure not tired about your Houston Astros losing to them Texas Rangers. I'm not tired of it yet, and nor will I ever be. It's beautiful.
Go fuck yourself.
And then I guess basically a Texas Rangers with Sammy Guevara.
Literally on the streets. Look at that.
This guy.
Shut up, bitch. Oh my
God. It's
you know what? The
year.
only reason why I picked that clip is because that was the Rock and Triple H starting at the bottom. And now they're all the way up here. They're on the board of directors for TKO for the WWE.
Oh man,
they started at the bottom. Now they're here. Quoting Drake.
Okay, Drake. Okay, Aubrey Graham, but he don't know who Doja Cat is. Get the hell up out of here.
I'm done. I'm fucking done. This guy.
I'm just saying you don't know that, but it's okay. It's cool. It's all right.
You know what? I just need you to do one thing.
Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button.
That's fine. I can push the button. That's not a problem. Guys, thank you for joining us here on the show tonight. Greatly appreciated. Make sure you're following us on all social media. Wrestling Revival Podcast on IG, on X, TWRP_official, and then on TikTok. That's right, TikTok at TWRP_official_. No, not that TikTok. Shady roll, not that he did it and then had no watch on him, y'all. Did y'all see that? I saw it. But and also make sure that you are taking advantage of otsubs.com. 10% discount code when you order with the code Revival Army. Make sure you ask about that 64-ounce shaker. It's definitely a problem and can also be a crime deterrent wherever you are. Just keeping that out there for you guys. Let's see. This week, definitely pay attention because this Friday we have a little bit of an acknowledgement to the FBI.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to show our killer instinct.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun, y'all.
It's going to be hilarious.
You see this face? It's lovely. Can't wait.
We exactly like I always say, exactly like you see on my tag there. We are here for the petty. We are going to be petty. And you know what? We're the only ones that have the killer instinct up in here.
Shout out to Nintendo.
Yeah. Big shout out to Nintendo. And you know what? They can't hit us with a copyright strike for that shit.
Definitely cannot. I mean, I guess we're PS5 and they still on 8-bit.
They're still on Atari. What you talking about?
You know what? Wrap this shit up. Wrap it up.
Y'all have a good night, guys. We will see y'all next week. We are out of here.